I think it's wonderful that we have events like this where we, the people, can go ahead and speak out because, you know, lately I've been writing to Congress, but I get the feeling that every time I email Congress, the only person who bothers to read it is working at the NSA. Does anybody else get that feeling lately? Well, it was here in restaurants and taverns, meeting halls like this in Virginia, where the original seeds of the American Revolution, the seeds of American liberty were sown. And here tonight we have a similar problem. There's a lot of talk in the media these days about what do we do about Obamacare, defunding Obamacare. We hear these pundits, these politicians tell us, you know, well, we need to do something in 2014 or it'll be 2015 when the mandate is first due, 2017. You know, they say that we have bought ourselves some time when they recently extended the small business employer mandate. Well, folks, we are out of time. Obamacare takes effect in 36 days. On October 1st, here in Virginia, a federal health care exchange that we didn't ask for and we don't want will be in effect. And our next governor, Ken Cuccinelli, will be taking office in January with 3.5 months of this free government cheese having been out there, and it is time that we formulate a plan to not only prevent this from going on in the future, but also roll back what has already been done. And to do that, we need to be focused. We need to keep our eye on our legislators here in Richmond, and when this takes effect, it will be years. If we battle this in court, it will be years to get this thing defunded in Congress. So we have to ask ourselves what we can do here at the state level to mitigate the effects of this on the middle class here in Virginia. You know, we need to look at innovative policy solutions, things like tort reform. We need to look at things such as reducing our own bureaucracy here first. We need to look at what we can do to, streamline the procedure so that we can keep our own doctor. We need to also look at some of the other problems that we have and maybe take a look at some innovative public policy approaches, things such as, why is it that when we are in the grocery store and we see somebody filling their cart with, Doritos and Twinkies and Diet Mountain Dew, and at the end of it, when they pay for it with a food stamp card, not only did everybody behind them in line pay for their food, but we also paid for their health care. It's an outrage, and it needs to stop. We also need to look at other things we can do in terms of standing up for Virginians here in Virginia, making sure that whatever the constraints that are placed upon us by Obamacare, as we're working to throw those out in the Supreme Court and defund them in Congress. In the meantime, we offer real relief to the middle class here in Virginia. I often hear talk from politicians about, these are our 10th Amendment rights, and well, I wholeheartedly believe that Obamacare is unconstitutional under the 10th Amendment. I'd also like to say something about our 10th Amendment responsibilities. People who are given rights in a free society also have responsibilities, and I believe that we the people have the responsibility, the 10th Amendment responsibility, to roll our sleeves up and get to work repealing Obamacare, but also mitigating Obamacare here in Virginia from day one of this next administration. We've got to keep the pressure on Richmond. As Ron said, know your delegate, know your state senator, know your local representatives, figure out what we can do and tell them that this will not stand. Recently here, this past session, we had an excellent bill that would have required drug testing for welfare recipients. And it was put on the floor, and you know what? It was voted down. Some of our people, Republicans allied with Democrats, to say that in Virginia, if you smoke crack, you can do it with taxpayer money. And yet at the same time, they said that we're broke. We need to raise taxes to pay for transportation. So the message they've sent here is clear, that they've got money to pay for people to get their pot fixed, but no money to pay to fix potholes. It's an outrage, but ultimately, these are the things that are dragging down, the quality of care. That when there's this fixed pool of money that has to go around for all of us thanks to Obamacare, rationing our care, now we've got people who are abusing drugs, using taxpayer money, and it needs to stop. And yet what happened? Bill died. Why? Because we did not keep enough pressure on them. So I'd like to just tell everybody that keep the pressure on. We're going to do what we can at the federal level, but in the meantime, let's take the lead here in Virginia. Let's take the initiative. Let's get it done. Let's roll up our sleeves, get to work, and say the problem stops here. The buck stops here in Virginia with us. Let's get it started. Thank you.